Hi, welcome to the Masters of Inventory podcast, where we dive deep into how RFID technology is revolutionizing inventory management for businesses worldwide. My name is Mandy. I'm COO, and I'm joined by Stan Andra, CEO.
Awesome. Yeah. Hi, everyone. So whether you're new to RFID or if this is more of a refresher and it's something you're already familiar with, really, we are here to break down the essentials of how this cutting edge technology can really streamline your inventory processes and save your business time and money, as well as, really importantly, improve operational control, which really gives your business the ability to scale.
Today's episode is titled Barcode versus RFID. And so we're going to break down the key differences between the two technologies and why RFID is the future of inventory management. So, Stan, you used to work in retail, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So in my former life, when I was a teenager and probably my early 20s, I worked for a multitude of different retailers, from Nordstrom Rack, Abercrombie and Fitch, The Gap, a store called ZCMI, The Buckle, Robinson's May, tons and tons of different retailers. So I had the pleasure, or I guess displeasure, of performing inventory audits at an early age, and I hated it, like all of the listeners out there who are listening to this, and I know no doubt do also. And then later in college, I actually ended up starting a t-shirt company where we sold product online and in kind of boutique stores throughout the Pacific Northwest. And so I was able to see firsthand the challenges that businesses face. Our inventory, with our t-shirt business, was pretty small. At the most, we probably had 1,500 t-shirts. But it was such a challenge and such an ongoing challenge to keep track of exactly what we had, all the color variants, size variants, and then the different styles that we had made it feel like next to impossible. We would end up counting the shirts over and over, and oddly enough, we'd get different quantities and different counts from the different styles. It was pretty much a nightmare. So yeah, I did have that displeasure early on.
Dang, I never worked in inventory, so I just have to hear it through the people who've had the pain of that.
Yeah. So, an interesting factoid, like last year, I wrote an article that I entitled The History of Inventory Management, and I went and researched the history of barcodes. We're talking today, obviously, about barcodes versus RFID and really how they differ. Barcodes were invented in 1946 as a way to streamline grocery store checkout. They were really never invented to manage inventory. Obviously, they're great at speeding up the process of checking your groceries out, but there's some really key limitations when using barcodes to manage inventory, right? So as we all well know, because we've all gone through the checkout at Walmart or wherever buying groceries, barcodes require line of sight to scan. So really, you've got to scan groceries one by one. You can't push them all through and have it scan everything. The other thing is they're really prone to errors. You can scan the same barcode multiple times, and you've, I'm sure, done that in the checkout, or miss an item entirely, and that can throw off your counts. The problem with using barcodes in an inventory management setting is it's such a time-consuming and labor-intensive process to use them. And there's other limitations that they bring, like you can't really help you locate things, and we'll talk more about.
Barcodes rely on optical scanning. So if the barcode's printed poorly or damaged somehow, it's not going to scan correctly. So that creates a problem. And scanning one item at a time is just not practical when you got thousands of products. Or like you said, Stan, in retail stores, items sometimes are going to be high up on shelves or hung on racks or neatly folded, where you have to disrupt a display to pull that tag out, scan the barcode to perform inventory or whatever. So this challenge means that a lot of retailers actually don't audit very often due to the slow, painful, labor-intensive process that is.
Right.
So the thing is, when you don't audit frequently, you don't have good accuracy. So they go hand in hand, auditing and accuracy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of times, retailers will have back stock stored in boxes and things like that as well. And, a lot of times nobody wants to go and dig out the, contents of boxes just to figure out what they have in back stock. So a lot of times back stock doesn't get touched, in these audits as well. So, so now let's talk a little bit about RFID. So RFID doesn't use a printed symbol like barcodes do. It actually uses what's called an inlay, and the inlay is hidden underneath the paper face of the sticker. So you really can't see it, but the advantage is that it does not require line of sight like a barcode scanner does. And that means, like you're saying, you can count hundreds of items per second or really thousands per minute. It means that it's a really, really fast way to audit your inventory. The other thing is, and this is really important, is that barcodes are not serialized, meaning that the same SKU, the same color variant size, is going to have the same barcode for all of those items, as opposed to RFID. So RFID, every single tag is uniquely serialized, which allows you to gain a much, much greater degree of accuracy. So with barcode scanning, reports show that the average accuracy using this technology sits right around 65%, which is pretty poor. When using RFID, statistics show that you're able to be north of 99%. So that's a massive increase in accuracy, over 34%, which does amazing things to your bottom line, your business. Another really cool thing is that you can use RFID to locate missing items. So through audio and visual cues, you can go and find things. You may have a customer there waiting for an item. Yeah. In a minute or two, you can go and rescue a sale, and make a customer happy by finding an item really fast. So.
For sure. We've definitely talked to stores where that's a pain point. They've lost sales, just the customer walks away, or they spent 20 minutes looking in the back for something they can't find.
Right.
This eliminates that pain point completely.
Right.
So how does this change things? Well, with RFID, you're able to stand from a distance of like 10 feet or more with a reader, count hundreds of items per second, meaning you can scan entire rooms of inventory in a few minutes. So in one of our customers, it's a nearby mall store. They have 3,000 pieces. I was performing a speed test, and I was able to count the entire store in 5 minutes.
Right, which is like a drastic change in paradigm, right? Most retailers, report to us that they perform 1 or maybe 2 audits per year.
Right.
With RFID, obviously 5 minutes is nothing, and you can go in and count your entire store daily. So really, that gives you a lot more up to date data to go off of. So really, the value of RFID isn't just the speedy audits and even finding stuff. It's really about the value that retailers gain from the accuracy, from the data that they are able to extract. So it really gives you, these fresh, accurate counts. So you really know what's in stock. But then what do you do with this data? So retailers can really make far better educated purchasing decisions and restocking decisions, right? So, purchasing means you're going to have the right items to be able to put out on the floor. And of course, stocking means that those items are out on the floor. So it really gives you that granular visibility to be able to do that. It's really about scaling. And one of the big things with scaling, of course, is that retailers are going to have multiple locations, right? So RFID is amazing when it comes to stores with multiple locations, because since the tags are serialized, you can't have a tag existing at 2 places at the same time.
Right.
The tags are going to update to the last known point when it was last scanned. And really, it eliminates a lot of the problems where you could have items, looking like they exist in 2 places. So as businesses grow, as your business grows, RFID really is a great tool to help along with that scaling, with that process. Another really important thing is businesses are always concerned about what they're losing in shrinkage, right? You've got, everybody out there knows that they are having some theft or some loss from whatever avenue, whether it's employees or patrons or whatever. But RFID, because of that speed, allows you to go through and count inventory daily. So you can identify if you're losing product day by day.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So it's really future-proofing businesses and allowing for scalability.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're able to compare your audits from one day to the next and say, like, what am I missing? Did I sell those things, or are there things here that I'm missing that I didn't sell, so maybe they were stolen? You can investigate right away. So that's awesome.
Right.
So as a listener, you might be asking, are barcodes a thing of the past, or do they still offer value? Well, barcodes provide a great way to scan products at point of sale. They provide another way to identify the item when an RFID reader isn't near. And the great thing is you can print a barcode on your RFID labels, so you don't lose anything by switching to RFID, but instead you gain a very valuable tool that transforms the way you're able to perform your inventory.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, they really do. They work in tandem, hand in hand. So, really, businesses will come to us and say, do I have to switch? Is it a separate sticker I'm applying? And then I've got to put my barcode sticker on top of the RFID sticker. Really, it's one sticker, and it does both the barcode and the RFID. So yeah, like you're saying, it really does afford you additional value. You lose nothing by switching to RFID, and you gain everything. Right. So the amazing thing about this technology is that we have now taken it and integrated it seamlessly with Shopify.
Shopify.
Right, yeah. and it really is allowing Shopify retailers to do so much more. Shopify, I think last year or the year before, opened up and started offering multi-location. And this in tandem with a Shopify store is an unbeatable combination.
Absolutely. The biggest thing with Shopify is that typically these sellers have a physical store, and they're selling online. And so having accurate inventory is crucial, so they're not overselling and having to refund customers and things like that.
It's totally true. And more nowadays the buyer, the shopper is demanding more ways to buy product, online, in store. They want better ways of fulfilling that product. So like methods like BOPUS, where you can actually buy online and pick up in store, the ability to utilize the RFID to not only know that you have it, day by day when that order is placed, but not only that, but then go and find that item before that shopper shows up to purchase the item that they bought online and make a very uncomfortable situation happen, is really offering a much better customer experience. You're making your employees happier because you're not having them chase around and scramble and stress out, or have to deal with an angry customer that shows up, to pick up the item that they've already paid for. So yeah, I mean, the benefits are massive for a Shopify business, and really that's what we're focused on. We're focused on helping Shopify retailers, both online and in-store shoppers, really maximize their stores.
And a fun fact is we've been working on this integration for 8+ years.
Right.
So it's not new. There's been many iterations, and
Absolutely.
we are always improving our software and trying to cater to the needs of our customers.
Absolutely. And speaking to the barcode versus RFID messaging here, we are integrating with the Shopify point of sale to allow for retailers to be able to use a barcode RFID reader, both barcode and RFID, at the point of sale. So items that are tagged with RFID, you'll be able to scan really quickly in a bundle, as well as turn it into barcode mode for items that only have a barcode on them. So really, really cool.
And that opens us up to theft detection as well.
Yeah. Great point. So yeah, we are in 2025, next year, we'll be rolling these features out, the point of sale and the theft detection. And it's something that I know that a lot of Shopify retailers have expressed interest in.
Absolutely.
So one point that I thought would be worth clarifying to our listeners is the difference between a barcode and a QR code. I've found that a lot of times people don't quite understand what the difference of those two things is. So a barcode obviously is a 1D object, meaning it is along the X plane. A QR code, QR stands for quick read, and it is a 2D barcode is really all it is. So it operates on the X and Y axis, right? So the advantage of a QR code over a barcode is that you can store a lot more data in the object without scaling it up. If you were to try to put a whole bunch of information into a barcode object, it would get really, really long. And so businesses will use a QR code to store things like a URL that's going to have a lot more data. And all that happens, the more data that is put into a QR code, the more that the object is pixelated, basically. And so it's a great tool to use if you are going to be putting a lot more information into that object. But in terms of the differences, you can use a barcode or a QR code really for your products and store your product information in that way as well.
Yeah, we tell everybody you can clone your current label and print whatever you want on the sticker. So
right, yeah, absolutely, and that's what we generally recommend is just cloning your existing stickers. But we just thought it would be good to add a little bit more clarity on the difference between the barcode and the QR code. So hopefully that helped. So we really hope that today's podcast was educational, and hopefully we're giving you some things to think about and think about how your business can be impacted positively, through this incredible technology. If you want to learn more, you can schedule a demo directly with us. You can go on our website, simplerfid.com, and you can book directly there on our site. And we can jump on and share a web demo and really show you how easy it is to switch to RFID and start seeing the benefits right away.
Yeah, at Simple RFID, our mission is to be simple, user-friendly, so we make it easy. In fact, you can be printing and scanning stickers the same day you get your printer when your package arrives. So reach out and let us help you take control of your inventory today.
Yeah, absolutely. Super fast, easy to get set up. Like our name suggests, we try to be the most simple solution out on the market. Nobody wants to have to learn a new software, right? And but the advantages of this solution are so great that we just know how it's going to impact your business, your bottom line. But we really appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, thank you.
We really know RFID is the future, right? And really, we're here to help you at every step along the way. So
absolutely,
look forward to speaking with you, and we appreciate you tuning in.
Thank you.
Thanks.